Yo, welcome back to another video. Today we are in the Open Great League, and let's try out this team. So we're going to be trying out the Shadow Golbat paired with the Lanturn in the Vigoroth in the back. Here we kind of have a neutral lead. We are going to be able to do a super effective poison thing here, but Azumarill is so tanky, they're going to be able to eat that poison thing easily. We're going to shield here so that we can guarantee a shield or going to win the lead. They did reveal Play Rough, so my thought is they're probably going to let it go. Yep, makes sense. And then they show Gliker. We're going to switch out into the Vigoroth. Vigoroth here is going to deal rock slide damage. It's not necessarily the best thing against Trevenant. However, we are going to pressure them by either getting a shield right here or getting the KO. So let's see what they end up deciding to do. We are going to get a shield. We're trying to build up to another rock slide, but our opponent is throwing on really good timing here. We're going to have to let this go. We are going to come back in here with the Golbat. Golbat is trying to farm down. They only built up to a C-Bomb, right? Yeah, there's the C-Bomb. And now we're going to be able to win the game because we can debuff this Glider probably twice. No, we're going to decide to switch out immediately. Go into our Lanturn. Lanturn is running the water gun version. Dig does go through, doesn't KO. And now we just have to spend this shield wisely. And we should be able to win this game. Arrow Ace does get revealed, but unfortunately they run out of time because they're debuffed and they needed to get to probably another dig to KO. So they're probably one fast move away from winning that game, or at least winning that matchup. All right, next game, let's see what we find. We got the Shadow Golbat versus the Dragonair. This is kind of a tough situation here. We're going to switch out into the Vigoroth to potentially get a shield or to see if they have Annihilate in the back. Here, we do grab the shield, which is job well done by the Vigoroth, and we think that we can keep this Vigoroth for now. We do see the Skarmory. So Skarmory here is going to be looking to farm down our Vigoroth, but not before we get off one rock slide. We try to get to another rock slide, but unfortunately, they were able to just fast move us down. They go for the Brave Bird against this Lanturn, and now the Lanturn here is just looking for a farm down. They are going to be able to get to two Brave Birds, it looks like. There's the other Brave Birds, so two Brave Birds gets this Lanturn into the red, so that's pretty good by their Skarmory. Now we still have to deal with this Dragonair, so Dragonair is still a problem. We tried to snipe their energy right there, but unfortunately they were at another move. They get us to use our last shield, and then we see the Whiscash. Whiscash here is pretty tanky. We're going to go for this Shadow Ball here. Does a good amount of damage, and now we forced them to leave because I don't think a Scold KOs from that range, and even if it did, they would have to use all that energy, and we still had that Lanturn to farm them down. So GG's to our opponent, able to win that game with the Shadow Golbat coming in clutch. All right, Shadow Golbat versus the Stunfisk here. We're okay for now because neither of us are dealing super effective fast move damage. We try to catch a move. They switch out into their Mandibuzz, and this Mandibuzz here is bulky, but we're going to be very spammy. We're going to throw this Rock Slide. They do shield, so we already get a shield off the bat. They definitely are trying to maintain alignment. We're going to shield here as well to see if we can wiggle out of this situation. We're going to go for another Rock Slide. Let's see what they end up doing here. They decided to double shield the situation, so they really want to maintain alignment here. We're going to allow this Dark Pulse to go through, and then we're going to throw this next Rock Slide on CAP. Let's see if this is going to... okay, they are going to get to another move here, and Arrow Ace doesn't quite KO. I guess there was an opportunity right there for us to one shield farm, but we decided to take the shield advantage. We're going to tank this Dark Pulse here. We anticipate the Stunfisk to come back in. We're going to switch out. Did not catch a move. They were very patient with him. They have Shadow Venusaur in the back. That is the worst thing we could see for this Lanturn. So far, no really wiggle room. One Thunderbolt does go through, get it into the low yellow. Frenzy Plant does get used here. Now we're going to have to use this move immediately because they're already out of move. And now we have to try to win this game with the Shadow Glider. But this Stunfisk has a ton of energy. All they have to do is get to another Rock Slide, and there you go. So GG's to our opponent. I guess our only win condition right there was to double shield out of that Mandibuzz Vigoroth matchup, and then try to line up Golbat onto their Venusaur, and then our Lanturn onto their front Pokemon. So a little bit unfortunate right there. All right, next game we got the Skarmory versus our Golbat here. We're going to switch out into the Vigoroth immediately here. They're staying in for now, so we can tank this move. Our opponent here is waiting, so we're going to have to go for this Rock Slide. This Rock Slide will do some neutral damage. They do shield, so interesting shield right there. Maybe they have a Bastiodon or something. Not exactly sure what they have. So they decided to farm down, one shield farm down, and then we're going to come back in here probably with the Lanturn so we can soak up all this damage. Our opponent here does throw a move. We're going to have to decide if we want to shield here. We allow it to go through. Only is a Sky Tag, and our opponent here reveals that they have Shadow Glider. Shadow Glider here is going to struggle against this Lanturn because not only do they are taking super effective fast moves, but they also have to get to a dig. We're going to shield here. It is the correct shield, and we are able to farm down. Anticipating some, I don't know, like a Mud Boy or maybe like a Annihilate. There's the Quagsire, okay? And now we have the Quagsire versus our Golbat. Aqua Tail does get released, and our opponent here is going to be able to get to these Aqua Tails fairly quickly. We're going to go for this Shadow Ball here. It does grab the shield, and then our opponent is going to be able to throw another move right before we get to ours. We kind of needed that Shadow Ball to go through, right? But we know that these are only Aqua Tails, so we can tank the first move here. We know that they still have that Skarmory, and then we're going to throw this Surf here right before we get to the move, and then our opponent is able to build up to a potential big move. So we have to shield here or let it go. We're going to have to shield, and now we see that they have the Skarmory. Unfortunately, unable to farm it down, and they are able to reach a Braver. So GG's to our opponent, able to win that game with that Skarmory. That Skarmory was their MVP for sure, getting a ton of energy on our Vigoroth and coming out with basically 3 moves. All right, here we go. We got the Shadow Golbat versus the Shadow Dragonair. We're going to switch out into the Vigoroth here. They are going to stay here for now. We throw the Body Stem, and it does grab a shield. Now, we can play this with the one shield. They decide to switch out into the Typhlosion. So Shadow Typhlosion here. Interesting switch. Not necessarily the best counter for this Vigoroth because we did get them to use their last shield. We were not able to get to that extra Body Stem though. So this is going to be Lanturn. Lanturn is going to have to try to farm down. We know that we can tank a move, so we're going to let the first Thunder Punch go through. We can tank another one. At this point, what do we think is in the back? Shadow Dragonair, Shadow Typhlosion being revealed. Probably going to see the Dragonair back in here. There's the Dragonair, and we are able to reach this Thunderbolt. The Thunderbolt here is not effective, but it will chip away, and we're going to switch out into the Golbat. We do snipe their energy, which is great, and now we see the Shadow Feraligatr. So we do have a shield for this Shadow Feraligatr. This is going to be GG's, because all we have to do now is get to this Shadow Ball. This Shadow Ball here will KO this Shadow Feraligatr, and they decided to quit, so GG's. Yeah, so this is a nice team right here. Check out this team if you haven't already, and let us know if you enjoyed the video.